Good evening. Welcome in a teleconferencing session on solid waste processing and treatment techniques. Myself, Dr. Anuj Kumar Pawar from School of Engineering and Technology, IGNOU. So first, let's see the definition about the solid waste. So solid waste refers to the range of solid materials arising from animal and human activities and are discarded as useless and unwanted. Solid waste are the organic and inorganic waste materials such as product, packaging, furniture, clothing, bottles, kitchen refuse, papers, appliances, paint cans, batteries, etc., produced in a society which do not generally carry any value to the first user. Here the word we are using, the first user, means suppose we are talking about here the some metals part is available in this picture. So in this picture, for the first user this is discarded or useless, but maybe the some uh, vendors take this metal part and after processing they can reuse or remake the other products. So for the first users, once it is the discarded, this can be said as a waste. So here are the categories of the solid waste. So categories may be different, may be defined different way. Suppose here the in picture, food waste, there is uncooked or cooked, and here are the different type of the plastics, and glasses or metals are shown in this picture. So in generally we can categorize this solid waste as first organic waste. This include the kitchen waste, waste from the food preparation, vegetables, flowers, leaves, fruits, and relevant marketplaces. Combustible waste means waste which can easily maybe the burn. So this may include the paper, wood, dried leaves, packaging for items that are highly organic in nature and having low moisture content. Means in this category water quantity may be the very less. Non-combustible, these may be the metals, tins, cans, bottles, stones, etc. Toxic waste, this is in this category old expired medicines, paints, chemicals, bulbs, fertilizer and pesticides containers, batteries, shoe polish. These are toxic in nature because suppose someone is consumed or this is exposed in our skin is exposed with this waste, so there may be some health hazard or some harm. So this is the toxic in nature. Recyclable, these are paper, glass, metals, plastic, etc. Ash or dust, residue from fires that are used for cooking and other may be burning. So what residue is remain there, this is the ash. Construction waste, rubbles, roofings, broken concrete, etc. Hazardous waste, oil, battery acid, medical waste, industrial waste, hospital waste. These are because these are hazardous waste because if they are suppose some oil is available, some acid is there, so suppose this is exposed in the environment, so this may there may be the may happen the casualties. So this is under the category of the hazard. Dead animals, dead body of the livestock or other animals. Bulky waste, bulky waste means it is a technical term we use. Suppose we are discarding our appliances in home, so these are in big size, so in regular collection this may not happen, so this is the bulky waste. So tree branches, furniture, appliances, etc. in this category. Soiled waste, cloth soiled with blood and other body fluids, so these are under category of the soil waste. Category may be the different, but we have to first categorize the waste, then only we can go further for the treatment. As we can say, there may be the one category, another category like biodegradable or degradable or non-biodegradable waste. So biodegradable category, this is the organic waste, again paper we can say biodegradable, but under the non-biodegradable category we can say the plastic or glass, etc. Now, sources of solid waste. Residential. Residences and homes where people live are some of the major sources of the solid waste. The garbage from these places include food waste, plastic, paper, glass, leather, cardboard, metals, yard waste, ash, and special waste like bulky household items such as electronic tires, batteries, and old mattresses. Industrial waste. Industries are known to be the one of the biggest contributor to the solid waste. They include light and heavy manufacturing industries, construction sites, fabrication plants, power and chemical plants. Commercial Commercial facilities and buildings are yet another source of solid waste. Commercial buildings and facilities include hotels, markets, restaurants, godowns, stores, and office buildings. Some of the solid waste generated from these places include plastic, food waste, metals, paper, glass, wood, cardboard, special waste, and other hazardous waste. The institutional centers like schools, colleges, military barracks, and other government centers also produce solid waste. Some of the common solid waste obtained from these places include glass, rubber waste, plastic, food waste, wood, paper, metals, cardboard materials, electronics, as well as the another various types of hazardous waste. Construction and demolition areas. Construction and demolition sites also contribute solid waste. Construction sites include new constructions of buildings and roads, road repair sites, building renovation sites, and building demolition sites. Municipal services. Urban centers also contribute immensely to the solid waste crisis. Some of the solid waste brought about by the municipal services include street cleaning, waste from parks and beaches, wastewater treatment plants, landscaping waste, and waste from recreational areas, including sludge. Sludge means whatever when we are treating the wastewater treatment, or suppose this water include measure solid portion. So after treating, some solid portion is remain at the bottom of the any treatment plant. So this can be removed. So this is known as the, we can say, sludge. Treatment plants and sites. Heavy and light manufacturing plants also produce solid waste. They include refineries, power plants, processing plants, minerals extraction plants, and chemical plants. Among the waste produced by these plants, there are industrial process waste, unwanted specification product, plastic, metals part, etc. Agriculture. Crop farms, orchards, dairies, vineyards, and feedlots are also sources of solid waste. Among the waste they produce are agriculture waste, spoiled food, pesticides used, etc. Biomedical waste. This refers to the hospital and biomedical equipment and chemical manufacturing firms. Some of these solid waste include syringes, bandages, used gloves, drugs, food waste, and other chemical. So all these, this is the sources from which we can get the solid waste. Category may be the different, sources may be definition of the sources may be different, but little bit they come under these sources or these categories. So once we have know the what are the categories of the waste, solid waste, and once we know the from where this solid waste is coming, because little more, suppose we are talking about the municipal solid waste and we are talking about the residential waste. So these, there may be the some dominance of one or two type of waste in this category, but little bit we can say every category of waste will come out from both sources. But when we are talking about the biomedical waste, so this is exactly different from the residential waste. So before going to the treatment, so here the functional elements of the solid waste management system. So first part is the generation, on-site handling, and collection. And from collection to the disposal, there are two routes: first transport and transfer, and then processing and resource management, resource recovery. So here are details. Waste generation. This encompasses any activities involved in identifying materials that are no longer usable and are either gathered for systematic disposal or thrown away any open site. On-site handling, storage and processing. This relates to the activities at the point of waste generation which facilitate easier collection. For example, waste bins are placed at site that generate sufficient waste. So waste generation, for the waste generation we can say this is the, as a solid management system, this is the awareness portion. And second one, online handling, storage and processing. This may be the any local body or our local system which is carrying these activities. Waste collection. This include activities such as placing waste collection bins, collecting waste from those bins, and accumulating trash in the location where the collection vehicles are emptied. Trash means here solid. We are talking about the solid waste. Although the collection phase involves transportation, but this is typically not the main stage of the waste transportation. So this is the only part of the we are talking about here only waste collection. This is the planning part. Waste transfer and transport. These are the activities involved in moving waste from the local waste collection location to the regional waste disposal sites in large waste transport vehicles. This is again the transport planning portion. Now this is the waste processing and treatment. Once we have collected the waste and transported the waste to the processing site, then this portion comes waste processing and treatment. This refers to the facilities, equipment and techniques employed to recover reusable or recyclable materials from the waste stream and to improve the effectiveness of other functional elements of waste management. And finally, this is the disposal. This is the final stage of waste management. It involves the activities aimed to systematic disposal of solid waste materials in specified locations such as landfill site. So here the we are initially I mentioned here the functional elements of the solid waste management system. So here are the six functional elements. Route may be the different: first generation, on-site handling and storage, then collection. In between there may be the waste may go the disposal. We can say this is maybe the dirt or the only inner material which is going to the disposal side. And in between we can give the mentioning here transfer and transport. So here we can mention the transfer station also. So as suppose our disposal site is very at a very distant, a long distance available is long distance, then in that case we can construct a transfer station between the collection and the disposal site. So as a transfer station we can uh, transfer these collected waste in the larger vehicles, so as this can be the go to the disposal side, or we can construct this processing and resource recovery unit in nearby place of the disposal site. So as in between here this waste is processed, and what we have recycle or we can recover the waste, this can go to the go back to the consumer, and the remaining portion or residue which we can say the inner material is remain, or we can say the dirt is remain, or we can say some ash is remain, which can be disposed at the disposal site only. So now the elements solid waste processing and treatment. The processing of waste help in achieving the best possible benefit from every functional elements of the solid waste management system, and therefore requires proper selection of techniques and equipment for every functional element. Here the word we mentioned the so here suppose this is unit, here is a processing and resource recovery. So our arrow is directly going to the disposal, but this arrow go back to the collection or the directly into the collection point or directly to the user place. If suppose something is directly we can use after some disinfection process, so this can be directly used. So we are not required to go disposal then go back. We can directly go back to the element collection or the generation point. So accordingly, the waste that are considered suitable for further use need to be paid special attention in terms of processing in order to derive maximum economical value from that solid waste. So purpose of the waste processing and treatment. Improving efficiency of solid waste management system. Various processing techniques are available to improve the efficiency of solid waste management system. For example, before waste paper are reused, they are usually baled to reduce transporting and storage volume requirement. In some cases, waste are baled to reduce the haul cost at disposal site and compacted to use the available land effectively. If solid waste are to be transported hydraulically and pneumatically, here the word hydraulically means suppose the moving part is the forcing part is the, we can say, any liquid or maybe some oil. As we are talking about the some way hydraulic brake means we are forcing we are giving the force from our leg to the brake, and this brake force to the underside liquid portion, which forces the for taking the another activities in that case. So here the hydraulically means we are taking some fluid portion which is forcing the waste, and pneumatically means some gases are available. So gas pressure is used to move the waste. So some form of the shredding is also required. Shredding is also used to improve the efficiency of the disposal site. So recovering materials for reuse. Usually materials that having a market when present in waste in sufficient quantity to justify their separation are most amenable to recovery and recycling. Materials that can be recovered from solid waste include papers, cardboard, plastics, glass, ferrous metals, aluminium, and other residual metals. Here the list which here I am talking about the list which already known to us. There may be the some another industrial waste which may be also also be recovered for reuse or as a origin materials, raw materials. Recovering conversion products and energy. Combustible organic materials can be converted to intermediate products and ultimately to usable energy. This can be done either through incineration, pyrolysis, composting, or biodigestion. Initially, here the word incineration, pyrolysis, composting, or biodigestion we will look into later on. Initially, the combustible organic matter is separated from the other solid waste component. Once separated, further processing like shredding and dyeing is necessary before the waste material can be used for power generation. So first processing we use in these unit volume reduction or compaction. Volume reduction or compaction refers to densifying waste in order to reduce their volume. Volume reduction is an important factor in the development and operation of most of the solid waste management system. In most cities, vehicles equipped with compaction mechanisms are used for collection of the solid waste. To increase the useful life of landfills, waste usually are compacted before being covered. Recently, high pressure compaction systems have been developed to reduce landfill requirement. However, there are some disadvantages of this compaction. First, difficulty in segregation or sorting, since the various recyclable materials are mixed and compressed in lumps. Second, biodegradable materials, leftover food, fruits, and vegetables destroy the value of the paper and the plastic materials. Third, poor quality of the recycled materials sorted out of the of compaction vehicles. So equipment used for compaction. Based on their mobility, we can categorize the compaction equipment used in volume reduction as stationary equipment. These represent the equipment in which waste are brought to and loaded into either manually or mechanically. In fact, the compaction mechanism used to compress waste in a collection vehicle is a stationary compactor. According to their application, stationary compactor can be described as light duty, which are used for the residential areas, commercial or light industrial, heavy industrial, and transfer station compactor. Usually, large stationary compactors are necessary when waste are to be compressed into steel container that can be subsequently moved manually or mechanically. Chambers where the compressed blocks are bended or tied by some means before being removed. Chambers where they are compressed into a block and then released and hauled away untied and transported directly. Movable equipment. This represents the wheeled and tracked equipment used to place and compact solid waste as in a sanitary landfill. Precrusher. A precrusher is one type of trash compaction equipment that helps to cut the overall volume of trash before it get compacted into a trash container. A precrusher is often used for crushing furniture and other bulky items to break them down and conserve space. According to their compaction pressure, we can divide the compactors used as transfer station as follows. Low pressure, here is pressure is less than 7 kg per centimeter square. This includes those compactors used at apartments and commercial establishments. Baling equipment used for waste paper and cardboard, and stationary compactor used at transfer station. In low pressure compaction, waste are compacted in large container. High pressure, here is pressure more than 7 kg per centimeter square. Compact system with a capacity up to 351.5 kg per centimeter square come under this category. In such system, specialized compaction equipments are used to compress solid waste into blocks or bales of various sizes. The volume reduction achieved with these high pressure compaction system varies with the characteristics of the waste. Typically, the reduction ranges from about 3 to 1 through or up to 8 to 1. Mechanical size reduction. Size reduction is a term applied to the conversion of solid waste as they are collected into smaller pieces. The objective of size reduction is to obtain final product that is reasonably uniform and considerably reduced in size in compaction to its original form. So here the some size reduction equipment. This is the paper shredder. Here we cut the paper. Here is sensor available and here a cutting head and teeth are available. So paper can be cut in as a cross cut and strip cut. So for this teleconference session, we will conclude here only, and then in next session we will continue with the size reduction equipment. Thank you.
Indira Gandhi National Open University, accredited with A++ grade by NAC, provides you a quality education in open and distance learning. School of Performing and Visual Art is offering a wide range of programs in performing and visual art. Certificate program in painting, certificate program in applied art,